Hi everyone, good evening. Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Good evening. Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Hi everyone, good evening. Kindly confirm if you can hear me. All right. So let's give 2 minutes for some others that will be joining because I remember the last class some came, later, and they were saying, oh, they didn't get what I said earlier. So today let's give next 3 minutes. So if you know anyone that is meant to be here, send them a message, call them. If you know anyone that is meant to be here, send them a message, call them. If you know anyone that is meant to be here, send them a message, call them. So if you have called someone, say I have called someone. If you have sent a message to someone, type I have called someone. So I said we are giving them 2 minutes. So by 7:08 or 7:09, we would start. Okay. All right. So we'll be starting in the next few minutes. All right. So good evening, everyone. All right. So today's class is going to be about content optimization and measurement. Today's class is going to be about content optimization and measurement. So, and we'll be revisiting what we talked about SEO, SEO writing, foundation of SEO. We'll be talking more about that in today's class. So, I hope you're ready for today's class. So, first off, what is SEO and why does it matter? So, SEO is search engine optimization. It means making your content to easily be found on Google. And I'm not going to take too long in SEO because I talked about it a whole lot um the last class we had about SEO. So I'm not going to really go deep into it. So we all know what search engine optimization is, the process of helping your website rank on Google so that when someone searches for something on Google, the person can find your website. Yeah. So next is keywords. Keywords is like the foundation of SEO, and if you are targeting a keyword that a lot of people are not searching for, that has low search volume, if you are searching, if we are if you are targeting keywords and you are putting keywords that a lot of people are not searching, that has low search volume, it will be so hard for your website to rank. This is why keywords are very important aspects. And we have actually talked about this. So I'm not going to be going over what keyword is, example of keywords. No, I'm not going to be going over that. We talked about it the last class. So keywords are phrases that people search for. I told you last class that we would use, not last class, the last class we had about relating to SEO. Um, you can use Google Keywords Planner, can use Uber Suggest to find keywords, and the target is high search volume and low competition. High search volume and low competition. So when targeting keywords, when thinking of what keywords am I going to use in my content, in my article, in my website article, in optimizing my website, I should target long tail keywords, not just keywords like just short keywords that, oh, digital marketing. Digital marketing is broad. So if you want to target a keyword like digital marketing, you need to add more stuff to it, maybe digital marketing courses, you know. Don't just target short keywords. To get the best result, you should target long tail keywords. All right, so the next, where to use keywords. I talked more about this the last class also. Where to use keywords. Your page title, headlines, your meta description. Meta description, I told you, it's when you search for something on Google, you would see, aside the title of that of the website or the title of that content, you would see like a short note on that to like attract people. So that's meta description. So when you're typing your meta description, it should be catchy. It should be something that can invite people to click on your blog post, to click on your blog post. And when you are writing your meta description, you need to add in keywords so that it's easy for that article to rank or for your content to rank. So yeah, on to the next. URL. You also need to put your keywords in your URL, when you're editing your websites, and all. Then all of this, you may not, if you don't know how to work from the front end of the website, you can put all of this in a Google document and send it to the developer. You get, as the content writer, you can put all of this in a document and send it to the web developer. But then, as an SEO specialist, you would need to work from the front end of the website, to do some other optimizations. But then, as a content writer now, as an SEO content writer, you can put all of this in a Google document, add in all of the keywords in the Google document, type out the URL for them. And when you send all of this to the web developer, the developer actually understands, because a web developer is meant to have a basic knowledge of SEO. So he is going to understand. So image alt text, I also explained this very well the last class. Yeah. So the next is on page SEO checklist. I think I gave SEO checklist the last time too. So this is like a checklist that you can use when you're writing your blog content, your articles. This is like a checklist that you can use to check if your SEO optimization is on point. Now, clear URL structure. It should not just it should have the topic. Your URL structure should have the topic that you're talking about. Your URL structure for that article should have the topic that you're talking about, and then also put in keywords there, but it shouldn't be long. It should not be too long. Yeah, another thing is mobile friendly layouts. Now that's more for technical SEO guys. There's a way to do that, but then that would be taught when you are taking like an SEO, course. This is majorly SEO content writing. So there's a technical way of doing that, and I won't want to go into details now because you might not understand. All right, so the next is fast loading speed. Now, before you start working on any website, before they bring you in as a content writer, as an SEO content writer, you need to ask who is the SEO, specialist, or who is the web developer. So you need to tell the web developer to check the loading speed. There are also websites that help check the website loading speed, because if your website loading speed is slow, if your site speed is slow, all the content you are publishing, it's more like a waste. Do you get? So if you are starting out with a new website, you are working on a website, you are being employed as an article writer, you need to check out the site speed first. You need to check that out. And then when you discover that, oh, it's fast, or when they've corrected it and when they've optimized it, then you can now go on with your blog content. Now the next is internal links. If you are familiar with Google Docs, you would know how to put in internal links. You can even do that from Google Docs instead of doing it from the website. All right, so Google Documents is just search for the Google Docs. Google Docs. You have it on your phone, you have it on your um laptop. So just search for it. So if you're familiar with Google Documents, you would be able to know how to embed links into your content. Now, when you write, let me just give like a brief how to do that. When you write a content and you want to embed a link in a content, go to that link, copy the link, and then highlight that word, highlight that keyword. Maybe let's say the keyword. Imagine this content now, where to use keywords. Imagine you want to embed a link in keywords so that when people check keywords, they would they can be able to click on keywords and go to another article. So you highlight keywords and then right click. You would see insert link or embed link as option, and then click that and paste the link there, and then you would see that, oh, it has been embedded into that keyword. Do you get? So you can do that simply on Google Documents. And then if you are privileged to work from the front end of the website, you would also be able to do that with a WordPress site. So the next is use headings. Don't just write your content. I gave you a breakdown. If you have checked your slides, your previous slides, and majorly the slides that talks about SEO, you would see that I gave a breakdown of blog structure, your blog content structure. So please follow that structure. I gave you examples of blog structures, several examples. I gave you lists blog structure. I gave you all of that. So please take note of that. Now, the next, optimizing images for SEO. I also talked about this last SEO class, so I'll just be I'm putting all of this to, just refresh your memory so that when we are going into other things, you'll be able to understand. So, optimizing images for SEO. Now, when you are the content writer, now I'm seeing you as the SEO writer for the website. I'm seeing you as the article writer. You are the one that is going to pick the picture that you are going to use for that you would be using for the article. When you are picking a picture, number one, the picture should not be large. When I mean large, I don't mean, oh, whether it's large in size. I mean the weight of the picture. Now there are actually websites that you can use to compress images. So there are websites that you can use to compress images. So you can find the you can check tiny png. You can also check image compressor. You would see a whole lot of websites that when you upload your picture, it's helped compress your picture so that the weight is not so much and it won't reduce your page speed. So use descriptive file names. You can edit the file name on your laptop. If what you're talking about is SEO checklist or whatever, edit it to the topic you're writing about, or maybe the major keywords that you want to rank for. Edit it to that name so that you are not uploading an image and the name of the image is let's say your name. The name of your image is Janet. you know it won't it makes sense, but it won't work well for your website. Yeah. So the next is add alt text to describe the image. So you would see a section. If you're working from the front end of the website is like working from behind the website. you know or if you would not be able to do that, you can just type it in the Google document. So when you submit it to the web developer would see, alt text, write the alt text there. So you would add all of that. Then include your keywords when relevant. Now, when including keywords, don't stuff keywords. Don't stuff keywords. When I mean don't add so many keywords that you are adding. You want to rank for digital marketing. You are now adding digital marketing in all the paragraphs. Nah, it's not going to work for you. When I mean it's not going to, I'm thinking of the word to use now. It would rather backfire on your website. So it's not going to work for you. Google keyword stuffing would actually not make your website rank. So you have to be very, very careful when using keywords. Don't just pack keywords just like that. Nah. So yeah, next is writing for both humans and search engines. This is where a lot of content writers miss it. A lot of SEO content writers miss it. You're writing for a website and you're just writing and just including keywords anyhow, and you are not writing for people to actually read. There are some articles that when you go through them, it's not even interesting. It doesn't even connect with you. You would not want to go back to that website to read something again because it's not even interesting. But when you see a website that okay, you search for something online and you go to their website, and the article is just so welcoming. The content is talking to one person. It's more like it's talking to you. It's more like it's addressing your problem. Do you get? So when you're writing, write for humans. Write like you are talking to your friend. Write like you are talking to someone so that it easily connects with your audience. Now use bullet points. Make it readable. When I mean make it really readable, use simple language so that even if someone that is not even a professor of English gets to your website, the person can easily read. Even if someone that is you know not so educated gets to your website, the person can easily understand. So your website should not be just for the highly educated, people. It should be for people that should be able to easily understand simple stuff. So use bullet points, use more of bullet points. Don't just write just one paragraph, one long paragraph just like that. No, put it in lists. Use bullet points. It makes it so easy to read. Personally, when I'm reading an article, or when I'm reading a content on social media, if it has list, it makes it easier for me to read. Most times I just scroll through the list because I don't have the time. A lot of people don't have the time. This is social media age. People want to quickly check what they want to check and run to go and check one interesting video, whatever. So you need to make it so interesting to read. Write like you are talking to one person. I explained more about this last SEO class. Add target keyword naturally. Don't just put target keywords and just put it everywhere. And someone is reading and person is wondering, what is this one? I'm just seeing digital marketing everywhere. No, it be that would be very bad and to be too obvious. So internal and external links. Now, internal links, like there are links that help link to other articles or pages on your site. Now, this is a very, very important aspect of SEO. When you're writing articles, you will definitely be the one handling maybe other articles, or maybe other articles that you have written, or other articles that people have written. Now, you remember how I explained you embedding links to a particular keyword or article. So embed links of other articles in that your article, so that it's easier. People can easily be reading your article and then navigate to the next article. So it makes people spend more time on your website, which is really, really good for SEO, which is really, really good for your website to rank. Now to the next, external links. This is where backlinking comes in. So SEO is actually a deep stuff, is a whole lot, but I'm talking about I'm focusing more of SEO content. You are a content writer, you're a copywriter, you are handling content for a blog, for a website, you know. So external links, um you are handling a website. If that website is not linking to other websites, or if other websites are not mentioning that website cannot rank. In fact, that is a major aspect. That's a major determinant for ranking. So to rank, there's this principle that Google follows, which is experience, authority, and trust. Authority and trust means other people are mentioning your website, um other people's website are linking to your website. So when you have more of people's website linking to your website, and also your website linking to their own website, it increases your potential for ranking. So you need to be able to network with other similar sites. You know, you can also publish content on Quora, on LinkedIn, and link it back to your website. So those are ways for getting links back to your website. Then you can collaborate. I don't know if you know what guest posting is. Guest posting. Guest posting is you writing content for several websites. You send a message to a website and say, oh, you want to contribute this particular article to their website. That's guest posting. So if they accept, you can have a link to your website and they have a link to their website. So guest posts, send messages to websites, contribute articles, and then have a link back to your website. So that's a very, very good way for building backlinks, and it helps your own website rank very well. So use descriptive anchor text, not just, oh, click this place, click here. Put something that is very enticing. If you're conversant with reading um likes of news websites like Punch newspaper, or news websites in general, you would see that they would say, oh, click here to read about this. Maybe they will put one news topic, one trending topic, and they'll say, oh, click here to view what this person said about Priscilla Ojo's wedding, something like that. So that's an example of embedded internal links. So meta titles and description. So meta title appears on search engine results, and that's like the main title of your article. So I mentioned about that. It's also called headline. I talked extensively on that the last SEO class, it should not be what you should include in your headline. It should not be more than 60 characters. It should not be long, because if it's long, Google would cut it out. So include your main keyword there also. It should be enticing. It should include power words. And I also give example of power words. So I also give example of power words. Power words like um um five shocking, five shocking reasons why you need this. All of those words that would attract people. Imagine shocking, you know, words like that. So include words like that to catch people's attention. So you can search for power words, examples of power words. You will see more of them that you can use for your articles. Now, meta description, it's like I explained that short summary. So the next is common SEO mistakes that a lot of people make that you should avoid. I talked about keyword stuffing. A lot of SEO writers want to rank, definitely, but be careful how you use keywords. You should not put in keywords um up to 15 times, a particular keyword up to 15 times in your article. So you should be creative about it. Put it put it in a creative way. So duplicate content. So some people, in the bid to rank, they can have one article and then have another article of the same thing and then optimize because they just want to rank. Do you get? And someone comes to your website, person is seeing one article, the same thing, person is seeing another article, the same thing. Person will just be disappointed. Person won't even think your website is a professional website. And one of the things that Google uses to rank your website is experience. When you have experience, they see that, oh, your content are actually very are valuable to their audience. Your content is valuable to people. I mean, you have a lot of content that is valuable. That's one of the criteria that Google uses to rank your website. So you have to be very intentional about the kind of content you put out on your website. So the next is ignoring mobile optimization. Now today, a lot of people actually search for stuff on their phones, and you would yes, people do search a whole lot on their laptops, on their computers, but majority of the people that would search for something would definitely use their phones, because you can do that inside the bus. Someone is saying something and you just want to quickly, oh, let me just quickly search for this service. Let me quickly search for, cars near me. Let me quickly search for, where can I buy a food near me? All of that. So phone is actually a very, you need to optimize for mobile. And then that is one major stuff handled by the web developer. That's why I said, before you start working for a website, you should ask questions like, oh, has the mobile optimization be done? You know, and all of that. The site speed, is it okay? You can also run the test yourself and then check it out. Now, not using analytics to track results. Before starting out on your website, you need to connect your website to Google Analytics. So connecting your website to Google Analytics would help you know who are the people, which country are they viewing your website from, how many views on your website, how many visits, and all of that. So connect your website to Google Analytics. You would see the button to connect your website. Better still, you can also tell the developer to do that for you. And while it would add you as a contributor on the Google Analytics site. Yeah. So The next is forgetting to update old content. Now, there are some contents that were specifically for 2023, not news content. Now, there are some contents that um it's out of some content that it's out of research for 2023, and there's some people that would say, oh, the best practices to use in 2023, and all of that, and they'll put, oh, 2023. Now you have put out that kind of content, and you are not updating it every year and putting, oh, this is, and you're making your research, updating it the next year, updating it the next year. you know your content should not be stale, your content should not be old. So I should not come to a website and then I'm seeing stuff that you are talking about A, but what they are saying on Twitter is Z. Do you get? And you are just not in line with what's trending, what's currently happening. That would be very disappointing. It won't bring trust to your website. So every now and then, every month, every year, update your content. Make sure it's what's currently, it may not be trending, but what's currently happening, what's currently what's currently happening, current research, what current research is saying, and all of that. So you need to take note of that. So now we have covered SEO writing, the major things you need to. If you go back to the previous slides that talks about SEO, you would see a more detailed. I just did a summary because I talked extensively about SEO writing the last SEO class. So now the next we are doing is content audits. As a content writer, as a copywriter, you need to know how to audit your content. Now, the previous slide I said update old content. Now, one of the things that would help you update old content is auditing your content to know if they are still good to go, if they are still, if you need to update them, if you need to add some things to them. Now, content audit is a process of reviewing all your existing content. This is more of websites, not social media content now. It's more of reviewing all your existing content, checking out if they are still good to be on the website, if you need to add in more things, if this is what is good at this point. You know, there's some there's some content that um it may not be trending, but it's not something that is new that we need to learn in 2025. So you need to update it to what we need to know in 2025. So every now and then you need to update your content. Now it helps you find what's working, what needs improvement, and what's to remove. So some people are saying I should increase it. Well, okay. Why do you need content audits? Why do you need to do content audits? To improve SEO and performance. That's one of the things to help Google rank your website. Because if Google crawls your website and sees that, oh, this content is not valuable in 2025, Google would not rank that content. So you need to identify outdated and duplicate content. You need to discover gaps in your content. You also need to boost overall quality. So the next is types of content to edit. Like I said, blog posts, website pages, like your own page, your about page, your services page. You need to update it every now and then. Your landing pages. I explained what landing pages is. Landing pages, like pages where the pages that are for specific purposes, or someone wants to buy something and your ads takes them to a landing page. So the same ad that you've been running for 1 month, now you now want to run another ad. In you ran the ad in January and you use that landing page. You now want to run an ad in December, and you still want to use that same landing page, it's not right. You have to edit it to what is currently in vogue, to what is currently trending. So the next is ebooks, white papers, white papers. Now, if you're familiar with Amazon, Amazon has like a lot of books that you can buy, that you can download. There's also this pdfdrive.com. There's so many websites. So if you're someone that writes books, you need to update those ebooks regularly, because what happened in 19 whatever is not going to be what is trending in 2025. So social media content is actually no um compulsory, because everybody can see the dates that, oh, this was what they posted some years ago. Everybody can see the date that this was what was posted some years ago. And it's easy to trace. Social media is, you don't need to actually update content, because everybody, it's more like a place where you document your journey, and people can see that, oh, this company actually started from this point, and this was what they were doing at this point and all. So the next is step by step process to content audits. So step one, gather all the content you have written so far, working for the brand, working for the website. Gather them, put them in a Google document. Now use tools like Google Analytics or a simple spreadsheet. You know, list the content titles, URLs, publish dates, word counts. Take note of these things, list them. Now the next thing is check the performance. That's why I said you need to connect Google Analytics to your website. You can also check out Screaming Frogs, a very, very good um tool too. Google Analytics is actually free, and it's one that is global. So Google Analytics, check out each of these contents now. Check out their page views. How many people viewed this content? So with this, you'll be able to find out if people are viewing this content and what could be the reason why they are not viewing. Check out the time they spent on that page. Check out bounce rate. You would see it there. Check out backlinks. How many links to that site, how many people are linking to that site, how many people maybe shared the post. There are some people that would make reference to a particular post, make reference to your content. There are some websites that will make reference to your content. So all of those backlinks, check them. Then social shares, then conversion rate. If your um if there was any product um on that page, that's the article page, if there was any product, say, oh, did they sell and all of that. So you need to check out all of this. You can use your Google documents, put out a table and check out all of this. So the next is evaluate content quality. Now after you have put that all of this in a table, page views, so you'll be able to check out the ones with the lowest page views and the ones with the highest page views, the ones that a lot of people spent more time on it, and you would want to bring in what you used on that page to what you used on the pages that people did not spend time in. Now the next is evaluate content quality. Ask yourself these questions: is this content up to date? Now you wrote this content in 2001, or they wrote this content in 2010. In 2025, is this content still up to date? Now is it clear and valuable? Now when you go through the content, is it something that um people would want to read in 2025? Ask yourself questions like that. Is it clear? Is it valuable to people in 2025? Like, would it make any sense to your usual Gen Zs, at this point in time? you know if it's There's some content today that they didn't know about AI. because of the use of AI now, and because of what people are saying about AI now, some of those articles might not be, reasonable. So you need to check out all of that and update them. Now, is the structure SEO friendly? Is the structure SEO friendly? I also gave you blog structures. Now, the structure that people were using to rank back in maybe 2005 might not be what Google still accepts, because algorithm is changing. Social media algorithm changes. Google algorithm changes. You know, there are changes every year. So you need to check out if Google is still accepting structures like this. Always stay ahead of the curve. Always research. Always learn every day. Learn every day, and all of this would make you know that, oh, this is still what is going on. This is what is SEO friendly. This is currently what is trending in the Google space. So now, does it answer user intent? um there's a way you can actually edit this. Now, type the title of that article, type it on Google. You would see the people also ask section. Now, that people also ask section are actually questions that people are asking at this point, like recently. They are questions that people are asking currently. So you can use those questions to edit your own content about that article. Do you understand? So now the next is take action. After you have checked out all of this, is it up to date? If you tell yourself no, okay, what are the things I need to do to make it up to date? Like I said, you can type that article title, type it on Google, and you would see questions. People also ask section, you would see questions there that you can use to edit your own article. So what you will do is seek to answer all of those questions in your article. So that's how you can be up to date. So the next time you want to update your content again, do that again. Answer those trending questions. You can type that article. You can type the title of that article. On Quora, on any social media platform, maybe Twitter or whatever, and you might see some questions. So seek to answer those questions. So now, keep it eye informing and ever growing content. Make it always relevant to what is happening now. Update outdated but valuable posts. Post your content. There's no content that is useless. Let me use that word. There's no content that is useless. You can always edit. You can always update to make it better. Now, combine similar posts into one. There's some content that, oh, when you edited this content, you realize that there is just this part that is valuable. It's just this part that is valuable, and you also edited another content. You can think of, okay, let me combine these two. These are things that you can delete low quality and irrelevant posts. There's some content today that doesn't make sense to Gen Zs again because of the use of AI. There's some content that doesn't make sense again. You get, so you need to delete some of those content or edit them. So now here are tools that can help you when carrying out your content audits. Google Analytics for the performance, Google Search Console. You need to your web developer is actually going to submit your site to Google Search Console actually. Then SEMrush and RFs to check out your backlinks. The SEMrush is a paid tool. SEMrush and RFs, they are paid tools, but they give 3 trials every day. So you can time it. You can SEMrush gives 3 trials, so you can time it. Okay, you check 3 trials today, and then the next day also. So you check out number of backlinks, that are linking to your site and all of that. Google Search Console, you see a detailed um analytics of impressions, the country they are varying from, how many clicks and all. Now, the next is Airtable or Excel. Now, When you get all of this data, you can analyze them in Excel sheets, spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet. Now the next is audits, audit schedule and maintenance. Dif- um you can say, okay, oh, every 3 months or every 6 months. 3 months seems too small. You can say, okay, well, every 6 months you'd carry out a content audit, or every 1 year you carry out a content audit about, okay, to check out if if your content, if your website contents are still very good to go. Then smaller content checks every month, and then keep a content calendar to track updates. So when you are crafting your content calendar for the next 3 months, you will definitely think of about trends. You definitely think about things that are relevant at the moment, and then use all of that to draft your content calendars. Now, practice, always practice. Now, if you don't practice, you're not going to know how to do this. You can the first thing is, you can pick 5 blog posts from your site, and then record the performance metrics like what I've told you, and then decide, oh, is this content, even if at this point you may not have access to a particular website, what you can do is go to um check any website, and then identify their previous contents, maybe their content in the past 6 months. All of these steps I gave you, try it for that website. You may not, since you don't have access to their Google Search Console data, their Google Analytics data, just do the others. Check out if this content is actually still relevant to a Gen Z like you. All of that. Check them out. Decide whether to keep or update this the content. You can just do like an internship for yourself, at least before you get if you are not working at the moment. Do like an internship for yourself. Try to update it. Will it make sense now? Like what I also gave you, I said search for the title on Google, and then seek to answer those questions that come up in the people also ask section, you know, like that. And you can even send you can send a mail to the website, and then, oh, you can tell them, I saw some of these mistakes on your website, I saw some of these updates that needs to be done. It's a way of pitching yourself. You never know, you could be opportune. They can reply you and say, oh, you can submit the article. They can reply you and say, oh, would you like to be a content writer for us, all of that. So you can check out websites that you're interested in, check out their previous blog posts and articles, try updating them, send a mail to them, tell them, oh, I found this mistake on your website. I found out that your website is not up to date with what's currently going on, and you would like to contribute and help update this content and this content. So you never know. It's also a way of building your portfolio. Yeah. So practice, practice, practice. So yeah, this is the end of today's class. So by 8 p.m. we'd be going for attendance. However, before that time, if you have any questions, start typing your questions now. If you have any questions, start typing your questions now. So I'll be expecting your questions. Someone said, how do we create a link? So I explained this earlier in the class. I was like, if you want to embed a link into a particular keyword, copy the link, go to Google Docs, you know, highlight that keyword, highlight that word or sentence that you want to embed the link, right click, and you would see a whole lot of options. You would see insert link, click it, and then paste your link there, so it would automatically embed into the content. So please, you said there are some posts that are not relevant to Gen Zs. Please, what kinds of posts are that? If you are conversant with social media trends, um there are some content that maybe people published that about AI, you know. There's some content. Imagine someone writing in about technology, and the person is not talking about AI. The person is not talking about how to use AI, and the person is still talking about the traditional um methods, traditional ways, or you are there's a particular website that talks about media, and the website is still talking about best ways to use radio, television. Nowadays, a lot of people actually don't watch television like those days. So when you are in the media space, your website talks about media, and you are still talking about radio, like so much that you are not even talking about social media as much as you talk about radio. That's when you say, oh no, you need to change. Or you're still talking about, or you're into advertising and you're still talking about, just traditional word of mouth advertising. You're not talking about other ways, other current ways, ads and social media ads. So these are some of examples. You can actually, it depends on your industry too. It depends on your industry too. Okay. Is it possible to get a sample PDF that details what is expected of a SEO content? I stated that I typed that in the last SEO class, the slides. So please check the slides. Thank you very much, my class. This is- You're welcome. You're welcome. Is it compulsory for a blogger to have a website? Because hosting a website is quite expensive. So aside having your website that has .com, there are actually some other ways to have a website. So there are sites that host websites like blogger.com. So you can have your blog there too, but in the long run, blogger.com. Yes, blogger.com. So you can have your content there. So there are some other websites too that allows you publish content so you can also like check them out. The format, blogging format, I told you it's in the previous slides. Check out the previous slides. You would see I gave a detailed SEO checklist. I also gave a detailed blog structure, blog formats that you can use. Now they keep bringing it down. Please, what can I do? Now, if you're having issues with LinkedIn, try verifying your account. Someone is asking a question about LinkedIn. Try verifying your account. It's actually quite hard to um verify your account, but if you verify your account, you won't have issues with restrictions. Is website copywriting the major form of copywriting? No, there are so many, not just websites. There's ads, there's a whole lot. Not just website actually. There's social media, there's ads, copywriting, a lot. a content writer, are we expected to be experts in all areas of writing, or is it better specialize on? You can choose to specialize in one aspect so that when someone thinks of, oh, health writer, they can easily think of you. But personally, I have not specialized, but it would be good to specialize. Though I yeah, I've not specialized, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to get more jobs in other areas. So it just depends on you. It's your choice to specialize. It's also advisable too, so that it also helps in personal branding, and it also helps you charge well. So when people know that, oh, this person, if you are thinking of health content, go to Adeyemi. Adeyemi Adenike. She is known for health content. It helps you perform well because you're experienced in that aspect, and it also helps you raise your prices because when several people are coming, oh, they know that, oh, you are really an expert in health content writing. you know you'd be able to charge well, not just several industries that you are still trying to learn. Is SEO only for website and blogs? No, it's not. It's not only for website and blogs. It's also for social media. You can put in for social media is not as detailed. Social media is just all about keywords. You can just put in those keywords that you want to rank for. My question is, you made mention of content being old. Does it mean that we need to also check previous? Yeah, previous post updates as well. For social media posts, you don't need to be checking previous posts to update it because social media is more like a place where you like document your journey. So you don't need to do all of that. Please, where is the best place to get the best and top ranking SEO in my industry, such as health? Sorry, I don't understand your question. Amodu Oluwa Nishola. I don't understand your question. Kindly rephrase. This, please, which website can I get free ebooks aside PDF, and how can I edit it? I don't know of a website that you can get ebooks that you want to edit. No, they are all in PDFs. Yeah.
Okay, so Z Library. Z Library. You should check out Z Library.
Okay, so someone said Z Library. So you can check out Z Library. So you can find books there. So next is, okay. How can one embed a link to logo or advert design? No, you can't do that. Is it possible to rank on SERPs with free SEO tools? I asked cause what's obtainable on the paid versions is far more than what's obtainable. Yeah, so I know someone that has not used SEMrush paid tools, and she has worked with several e-commerce brands to rank on Google. So aside using the usual SEMrush, and it depends on how you can use it. It depends on how you use it. Imagine someone that doesn't know how to use imagine someone that doesn't know how to use SEMrush goes to subscribe to SEMrush, and person doesn't know how to target all of the positions, low hanging fruits and all of that. Person won't be able to rank. So now for that, you can use Google Keywords Planner. You can use the example I gave you. Search for that keyword on Google. You would see the questions that people also ask section. All of those questions that are there are the questions that people are currently asking for relating to that topic. So you can go to the keyword relating to your website, go put them in Google Keywords Planner. You would see their search volume. Then you can use it to generate a phrase that you can use to generate more questions on Google. So you can use Quora also. You would see some questions that people are currently asking for. You can use Reddit. You would see questions that people are currently asking for. Yes, those paid tools are very, very are important too, but there's a way you can use it that you would get the best results. There is a way you can use free tools that you'd still get the best results. Because personally, I know a lady that she's a CEO. She has worked with several e-commerce brands, both in Nigeria and abroad, and she has helped them rank. I mean, a whole lot of reviews, but she doesn't have a SEMrush premium. She doesn't have a paid SEMrush account. She uses free SEMrush, and she uses Google Keywords Planner. She also uses AI to help. I know you spoke about working with a website developer for SEO things. Outside websites, as a blogger, how do I become SEO complaints? Does it have an app? Sorry, I don't understand your question, Eliakim Wanonso. But if you are thinking, if the question is about how do you become an SEO specialist, um, you need to like, if it takes a whole lot to learn all of the technicalities of being an SEO specialist, because this class is actually majorly SEO writing. But if you want to learn um being a full SEO specialist that includes the technical aspect, all of that, it takes a whole lot. Yes. So it takes a whole lot. The web development, you should have an idea of web development, coding, all of that. Um, so this that we are doing, SEO is actually into two on page optimization, which is what we are talking about, that has to do with the content, internal linking, external linking, and then we have off page optimization, which is backlinking, trying to link to other sites, and we have technical SEO, technical optimization, which has to do with all of the coding, all of the site speed, all of the mobile speed, and all of that. So you would need to go deeper if you want to be managing your blog yourself, or you don't want to bring in a web developer. How can I run my own website on another one? So I said there's a website called blogger.com, and I guess there's other websites like that. So these websites help you run like a blog. Not like, it's more like, oh, you have your own page, and you can always, because I did like an assignment. So, and then if you search for my name, the name of the blog is, I used a name like anusparks dot blog dot blogspot.com. So you can create something like a blog, but not the old technical, just create a page and all of that. So you can be putting out content, and when you get more, you a lot of people are reading your content, on that page, you can start earning also. So you can also run ads and all of that. So it helps you like have a blog in a website. So for example, you can have something like, let me use someone's name, adeyemiadenike.blogspot.com, but the usual paid blogs would not have .blogspot.com. It would have, oh, adeyemiadenike.com. Do you get? Is WordPress the best platform to build your portfolio as a writer? I won't say the best, but there are so many other platforms to build your portfolio. You can use Google Docs, you can use Canva to design your portfolio, bring in those links. So, but then WordPress is like one of the best platforms for content management for your website. Yes, you need SEO, because I've searched for some things on Google, and then I would see some people's content that pop up, and they are written on Medium. So you need, whether you're writing on Medium or you're writing on blogspot.com and blogger.com, you need to know the basics of, this on page SEO that we're talking about. So for that, you will need all the knowledge about technical SEO. So since it's just your personal way of building your ES, yes, you can use that to practice this SEO writing. Yeah, you can do that. How do we submit attendance? Writing being loyal to SEO. I'm still trying to get your question. Please type the question again. Type the question again. There are so many questions. Ilya Kim. Thank you. As a story writer, do I need to follow trends to write a story? You don't need to follow trends, but just write something that's is interesting, something that is emotional, something that's it's relevant to what's currently happening. Can someone help me? But following trends would really, really help you get that visibility. When your story, you just imagine the popular song currently going on in Nigeria, No Turning Back, and then you're writing a story related to that. That story would gain traction because it's what's trending. It's about what's trending. So it would really help. Can someone help? Please can you teach us how to open websites on WordPress and blog? That's like a video, and me explaining it won't help you learn it. But I guess there should be a class that would talk about that. But if there is not, my last class, I would kindly remind me during my last class.
Jojo, we go.
So yes, you can use all of those platforms like blogspot.com, blogger.com, Medium to practice this SEO. So it's even possible that your blog, your content, your articles on those platforms would even rank, and you can start gaining traction even before you start getting jobs. You can even use that as your portfolio. You know, when you want to get a job, you can put the links to that site. All right, so we would be going on a break now and would come back by 8:20, and then I would wrap up all of the questions that you guys have. I would answer your questions when we come back by 8:20. So kindly go for attendance now, and I would come back. All right, welcome back to class. Welcome back to class. Welcome back to class. All right, so I'll continue with answering the questions. In regards to Medium, what unique approach can one use to bridge the gap created by the absence of certain plugins like Yoast or SEMrush to rank on SERPs? So I mentioned earlier that in if you don't if you can't afford the paid SEMrush now, and RFs and all of that now, use Google Keywords Planner. Now, in respect to alternatives to used SEO plugins and all, these SEO plugins actually help to know that, your number of keywords, it's already exceeding number of keywords. It's already this particular content. It helps you like have like a score, for that. So what you are going to do is I gave you an SEO checklist the last class, and I can give you like a comprehensive. I can send the documents. I'll send the document to the facilitators, so they send to you a document that states like a detailed SEO checklist. You can use that SEO checklist to write your content, put your internal links and your external links on Google Docs. Optimize the meta descriptions when you are putting in your content on Medium. Optimize them. Put in the checklist. Use the checklist to check, okay, if this is done, if you have added internal links, if you have linked them to some other websites and all of that. So you can use that to check your content. Now you don't necessarily you need to have used SEO, you need to have, you know, all those plugins for you to rank on Google. If you simply optimize your content and simply make it readable, copywriting, your title should be something that is catchy to read, then keywords too, then all of those checklists that I gave you, put them there. And then backlinking, I would advise that you do it a whole lot. Backlinking, make sure you link to other websites. So with all of this in place, you will definitely rank over time. So because SEO is not a 3 month stuff, it's not something that it just happens like immediately. It's like I said, Google is not Google doesn't rank your content immediately. It ranks based on experience, authority, and trust. So you should have been there for a while for Google to trust you. Okay, I'm looking for the next question. So please confirm if I answered that question well, if you understand now. How about Substack? Yes, Substack is also a place to where you can write content and it can also rank. So you see the good thing about, if you are just a writer, maybe you just like putting your thoughts out there and all. Now, the good thing about websites like Substack, like blogspot.com, like Medium, is that these websites have already been the technical SEO has been sorted. They've done the technical SEO aspect. So your own is, when you're creating your content, just focus more on the on page optimization, focus more on backlinking. So that's what you need to do. So that's the advantage of actually creating content on this platform. So you would need to put more efforts in link building. As a regular upcoming blogger, how can I easily be SEO compliant? Is it an app? No, you do. It's not an app. It's not something that. It's something you learn. That's one of the essence of this class. So if you go through the slides of the previous classes, you would if you go through the slides, and not just the slides, the lectures on YouTube, yeah, if you go through them, you would definitely learn about it. The next is, okay, so I think that's like all questions for today. So I think that's all questions for today. So if there are no more questions, thank you so much for joining in, and see you next class on Wednesday. Bye.